It's time for Taste Appeal, and you may think of pasta as being a big no-no when it comes to dieting, but there are some simple substitutes you can make for a healthy alternative, and of course, everything in moderation. Joining us with a healthy dinner idea is Sal Circosta, the owner of Sal's Bakery and Cafe in Springfield. Sal, so nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Ashley.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We are making pasta...
Friorelli.
I was waiting for you to say it. Friorelli, okay.
I went to Providence College, so I like the fryer, so I named it Friorelli.
Oh, you see, you named it. This is so special.
Well, it's from a Neapolitan dialect for broccoli rabe, or sometimes called rapini. They call it Friorelli because it's a broccoli that you fry with oil.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
That's exactly it.
Okay, step one of pasta friorelli. I feel like I have to use my hands.
There you go, exactly.
Okay.
Just put a little bit, you get a pan nice and hot, you put a little bit of olive oil. I don't really measure, I guess a couple
A little, okay, so I guess a lot.
So, yeah. Then you take some garlic.
Do you want me to chop that?
Yeah, if you want. I like a nice rough chop. I don't like using it too thin. I like nice chunks of it.
All right, so I'm just gonna, I'm so self-conscious. I'm not really a good garlic chopper. I use my slap chop.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Bang it up and down.
So
yeah.
I'm not really used to doing it by hand, but that's okay.
Good.
How is this chopping going?
That's pretty good.
All right, so I'll chop this up.
There you go.
Now, you say broccoli rabe is what we're making, and
yeah.
I always think of broccoli rabe as being a very bitter vegetable.
It is. It is. You know, it's an Italian wild broccoli. It's kind of the top of almost a turnip, if you want to compare to that. It's beautiful like that.
That's good?
Yeah, that's good. I like it nice and rough, because that way when you see it, when you're serving the pasta, you actually see the chunks of garlic right in there.
And I know Seth will like that because he loves garlic.
Yeah,
so.
You know, as much garlic as you want. So yeah, this is broccoli rabe. It's little small broccoli florets. This is where the bitterness really is in the stem. Okay. So if you discard the stem, you get rid of a lot of that bitterness.
So get rid of the stem.
So what I do, I wash it whole with the tag still on it, because that's about my guide. So what I do is I cut it right above where the bunch is. And this part, easy to throw away.
See you later.
See you later. So then you take it in a nice rough chop. Nothing fancy. Pick it up.
The rough chops are perfect because it's less prep time, right?
Exactly, and this is peasant food. This isn't fancy, fancy Italian food. This is what they would eat where like my grandparents come from in the farmland.
But it doesn't make it any less delicious.
No, it's actually, I think it's better.
Even better.
Yeah.
And now, no, go on, Sal.
You know, you're working with fresh ingredients, you know, and it's very simple flavors. You got olive oil, garlic, broccoli rabe, all very healthy things. Then you put a little, if you want to put vegetable, chicken stock, whatever, if you want low sodium, if you're worrying about your salt intake, then you just pour that right in. And that's going to simmer down for about 15 minutes or so till it wilts down.
All right. And now, this is people think of Italian food as being hearty, indulgent, like it's something they can't have when they're on a diet. This is a really, really healthy recipe, especially that leafy green.
Genuine Italian food is very light and very simple. The Americanized Italian food is where you get a lot of ricottas and mozzarellas and a lot of fried things. In Italian cooking, traditional Italian cooking, it's very simple foods, and it's olive oil, garlic, salt, and pepper mostly added to anything. Saute it and add it to pasta, whatever.
So a lot of the calories are really in the wine you're drinking with your meal.
Exactly. So then, this is, you would use, if you want to be a little healthier, you can use whole grain pasta.
Yes.
You know, you can also use polenta if you want instead as a substitute. You just put the pasta in. That's going to cook up for a few minutes.
And you just salted that water?
Yep. You salt the water, get it nice to a nice high boil, and it cooks up. I'll be honest with you. I don't cook a lot with whole grain pastas because it's just not really part of our culture. But now that people are a little bit more aware of their diets, it's very much part of the American culture now. So cook it about 9 minutes, still wait for it to be a little al dente, and it's, if anything, I think the whole wheat pasta sometimes has a little bit more flavor to it.
It's a little bit grittier, yeah, and there's also the gluten-free pasta people could use too.
Exactly, the rice pasta, potato pastas, all of them, absolutely.
Yes. All right, so now we're going to let that's going to cook up, right? And then we've got the pasta. Now there's more to this recipe. Obviously, we're going to get to it. We're just going to let those simmer and boil, and we'll be back.
Sounds great.
Thanks. We are back in the Mass Appeal kitchen with Sal Circosta, the owner of Sal's Bakery and Cafe, to finish up our healthy pasta dish.
Absolutely.
Sal, it's nice to have you here.
Seth, good seeing you.
So catch me up on what you did while I was gone.
Pretty much. Well, you washed your hands after touching salmonella or whatever the heck that was.
After catching salmonella,
That's good.
I got rid of it.
We're all set with that. We boiled the pasta. It's nice and al dente now, the whole grain pasta. So now pretty much while we were at commercial, I added some a couple cans of drained cannellini beans, which you have to drain them and rinse them because it has kind of a murky...
The waxy.
Exactly. So you get rid of that, put in the pasta, or correction, with the broccoli rabe, cook it up for about 10 minutes or so. You can add anything else you want. If you want to add potatoes, but with carbs, you might not want to do that. If you want to add a little bit of meat, some cut up ham or pancetta, you can do whatever you want. But we're supposed to be healthy, so I'm not doing any of that.
So beans and vegetables,
Beans and
healthy,
vegetables,
healthy.
You know, the thing about that is you don't need the meat because you're getting your protein in the beans.
From the beans, exactly. So then what you do is pretty much it's all set. So you put it right over the pasta.
All right, and this is the whole wheat pasta, right?
Whole wheat pasta.
Okay, so we're still going healthy.
We're still healthy somewhat.
Yeah, well, until we get over here to the cheese, but
Then you
even
take
still,
it-
cheese.
Calcium, come on, we need our, it's
There's
good for our
protein in
bones.
cheese too.
Yeah.
Now you can use like a nice fontina, which is a soft cheese. You can use Parmesan. Parmesan's very high in sodium, so if you want to be healthy, stay away from that. This is fresh mozzarella. So what I did is I shredded it. If you want, you can pour right on top of there, just the shredded part.
Yep.
Then you're gonna mix that in. What this is going to do, this is going to replace making more of an Alfredo or something like that.
Oh,
If you
pouring
don't-
in heavy cream. that kind of
Exactly.
thing?
So this will bring it all together. It'll bind it
melt,
together.
yeah.
But what I would, you don't have to add cheese. If you don't want to add cheese, it tastes fine without it. Then
get
mix it
Oh,
up
I think the
nice.
cheesier the better.
Absolutely. And then you can be fancy if you want. Add a few things of.
Is that how you do it in Italy?
I don't know. I've never been there. I live in Forest Park.
Let's just say this is how we do it at the
There you
in
go.
Forest Park. There you
Maybe,
go. On
yeah.
in the Massfield kitchen. That's how we do it.
And that's it. And then you
That's
just
so great.
have a
That
nice
looks
bowl
great.
of it. Put some fresh mozzarella on top.
And you can. But the thing is, this is actually really is very good for you.
Oh, this is very good for you. And, you know, broccoli rabe, it may have a little bit of a pungent, bitter flavor. The longer you cook it, the less stems you use, the better it'll be, the more sweet it'll be.
Huh.
If you don't like broccoli rabe, you can add escarole, you can do dandelion greens, you could do regular broccoli, you can do whatever vegetable
Whatever
you
you want.
Dandelion
Zucchini.
greens, interesting.
Oh, yeah, dandelion greens, those are the best.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
cook
cannot
them the
wait to
same
try
way.
it.
All right, when
Sal.
it's springtime, I'm going to have to weed my garden.
Absolutely, there you
Thank
go.
you for sharing this recipe
Thank
with
you
us.
so much, I
Great
appreciate
to
it.
have you here. For a copy of this recipe and more, you can always visit mymassfield.com later on today.